Enjoy this free preview from MyOutdoorTV. With the largest library of outdoor shows, we are the home of the adventurous, the champions, the legends. MyOutdoorTV. Try us free.
It's a for real giant deer, monster. That's the kind of deer you work on all week. I almost forgot my sneaky feet. Gotta have your sneaky feet when you're hunting mule deer in Wyoming. You know, it's crazy. I feel like last night I couldn't hardly sleep, and I'm like a kid at Christmas because I'm back in Wyoming with Bear Track Outfitters. Today's the 1st of September. It's opening day. I'm waiting on my guide Tanner, and you know, I know how good this place is. I mean, last couple of years we filmed antelope shows here. We've decoyed antelope. Tanner's so much fun to be with, but this year is different because I have a mule deer tag, and every time I've come here, we have seen slammers, and I said, I'm going to get enough points to get a mule deer tag, and this year is my year. So I actually have a mule deer and an antelope tag in my pocket, and it's going to be a target-rich environment, I'm sure, like always, and I'm fired up. I'm just looking forward to getting after them. The reason I'm so excited is that I know how hard the guys at Bear Track Outfitters work for their hunters all year round. Hours and hours of scouting and gathering intel on their part means I'm going to have a great chance at a big mule deer buck. We jumped in Tanner's truck and headed out to the spot where he'd been watching 2 shooter bucks. And I mean, one of them was an absolute giant. And it wasn't long after sunup and we'd spotted him, and the game was on. It's going over. Oh, game on, baby. Game on. See where he goes, keep kind of watching. I can tell you right now, if you ever get to a point where a buck like that doesn't get your blood pumping, you might as well quit hunting. And I want to tell you, we watched that buck for a long time. We glassed him until he literally dropped out of sight, and then Tanner and I made a plan on how to sneak around and hopefully cut him off. Tanner got us in a great position to make that stalk, but the wind was dead wrong. So what we had to do was we had to make an adjustment, which took time, and ultimately we were a little bit late. Psst. There they go. All the way at the bottom, going out the other side, see them? We thought we had cut them off, and they got past us. They went down that ravine, and now they're working their way out the other side. It's a for real giant deer, like 190 up monster. That's the kind of deer you work on all week. You just gotta watch where he goes.
Connect with Tom and the team on social media and get your very own American Archer apparel at theamericanarcher.com. This segment is brought to you by Whitetail Institute of North America. When it comes to food plot products, research equals results. This segment is brought to you by Scent Thief, the only product that uses patented technology, which shuts down an animal's ability to smell.
It's game time. So here's the plan. I'll just back up a little bit. We had spotted a really nice buck, and we were trying to get eyes on him, and we bumped into an absolute giant, and we stayed on him for a long time until we finally bedded him. So we've got him bedded, and we know where he's at. We've got a pretty decent wind. It's not the best spot in the world, but it's a world-class buck, and he's in as good a spot as he's going to get to. Our plan is to try to loop around him, get the wind, get a little bit of elevation on him, and then just set up and wait. And then hopefully when that sun pops out, he'll have to get up and reposition, and we can put the number on him. One thing you need to remember about mule deer hunting is that it's a game of strategy, but also patience. We knew that we were going to have to do everything right in order to get a shot at that mature buck. We're in trouble. The other one's that way. The other one's in the next gully over. Exactly close to him. Let's go. I mean, when it's pushing up, look up there on top. Trying to find his antler tips. When we finally spotted him, he was bedded below us only 50 yards away. And I can tell you right now, it was already hot. It was in the 80s, and the temperature was climbing fast, and there was no way that I could make an adjustment to get a shot at that buck. The only way we were going to have a chance at that deer was to wait for him to stand up, and that means we were going to have to hunker down and just wait for that opportunity. We stood there motionless, silent for over 2 hours. As uncomfortable as we were, we knew he had to be getting hot too, because that noon sun was beating right down on him. I don't know if it was the heat or the lack of water, but when that buck bedded back down, I felt like I was going to throw up. And for the next hour, I literally played that scenario in my mind. Could I have fit a shot into there? Was the angle really bad, or was it me? And then when I was really wondering, is this deer gonna get the better of me? I saw him shake his antler tips, and I knew he was coming up.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Oh, right in front of him.
No, I hit him.
No, you hit right in front of him.
No.
Yeah, you hit right in front of him.
No. No, I hit him, dude. I freaking missed him. He has no idea what happened. So this is right here is where he was bedded. You can see that he was in there in the shade. And we were on that little bench about 45 yards up. And we sat on him for about 3.5 hours. I mean, it's a very makeable shot. I mean, come on, 45 yards. And he finally stood up and he gave me a marginal shot, and I didn't take it, and then he kind of wandered around a little bit, and I thought he was gonna bed back down, and he gave me just a real brief shot, and Tanner's like, shoot him. It felt good. I don't know, but there it is. It's in the daggone dirt, and there ain't a bit of blood on it. Unbelievable. He said I shot right in front of him. I don't even know, but I missed him. I mean, that's not just any deer either. I mean, that's you know, you get 2 or 3 opportunities in your whole lifetime at a deer like that, and everything went right up until the point I didn't make the shot. I like to just give you some else thing about that's all bow hunting is, and that's part of it, you know. But right now, I feel like the lowest bow hunter on the planet. You know, this is the part where it's perfectly acceptable for you to punch me right here. You know, I think that would if you just like give me a haymaker, that would just ease the pain. It's what you saw. It just went right across the front of him.
Right across the front of him.
I don't know. I'd like to tell you, I'd like to give you 50 excuses. I have no idea. I thought the shot felt good, but it obviously wasn't.
No, he's bedded up over here on another ledge, so.
You found him? He doesn't even know what happened to him.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't even know we were there.
Dude, he's a giant.
Yeah.
A bona fide, once in a lifetime, maybe 2 or 3 if you're really lucky.
Yeah.
And I whiffed on him.
He's a good one.
Let's go get him.
Yeah.
All right.
This segment is brought to you by Chippewa Boots. Legendary performance you can trust. Chippewa Boots, the best by far. This segment is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. Quality control and attention to detail make them the best strings in the industry.
I'm not gonna lie, I was lower than a snake's belly, and I was feeling really sorry for myself after I whiffed on that buck.
There he is. On the bank. He's got his buddy with him now.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, that's him. When you're a bow hunter, you gotta have a short memory, and you have got to keep your head in the game. And when we got back on that buck, it was a long shot. I didn't like the angle. Let's face it, it was too risky, particularly on a buck of that caliber. So we decided to wait until him and his buddy bedded down again and make a move. We had found that buck bedded in a really narrow crack, and I knew we had a lot of things working against us. Because it was so steep, I knew we would be on top of that buck before we were able to get a shot. And yeah, we're hot, we're thirsty, and add to that the fact that the wind was swirling like crazy. Stack all that together, I was giving us about a 2% chance of getting the deal done, honestly. And then even more, Jerry's looking at me and he's like, dude, I got 10% battery left. So which means I'm gonna have him conserve as much as he can. It was a step at a time until I knew I was within 25 yards of that buck and I couldn't find his antler tips. And I'm scanning, I'm trying to pick up every little movement and there's nothing. And then just like that, he jumps up like a rabbit, like I kicked a rabbit out of cover. Poor Jerry's trying to get the camera rolling, and the deer could have gone left or right, but instead he decides to go through the ravine and back up the other side. And I just did what I do, I drew, and when he started up the other side, his back legs went out from underneath him, gave me one split second, and I made one of those shots that are gonna live forever in my memory. I pinned it right between his shoulder blades and it came out his brisket and he tumbled back into the ravine. The only problem is that memory that's burned into my mind right now is gonna be in my mind forever because we didn't get it on video. All the way to the bottom, all the way to the bottom. Okay. Tanner was able to find that buck about 5 minutes later, bedded down into some sagebrush, and he was in a bad, bad way. But I knew I was gonna have to get in and make that final shot. He's gonna lay down again. So Jerry and I circled around, we played the wind just right, and put him on the ground. He's dead. Touched him yet, but I can tell you he's dead. Shot it right through him. He was in his bed. I could barely tell. I could barely tell which way his body was. And we just kept trying to play the wind, trying to play the wind. And you can see how big he is. I mean, he can't hide those antlers. And I just got to about 18 yards and I could see the outline of the body, just barely. And literally I could hear the arrow go through him and hit the rocks on the other side. That's a good one there, Jerry. Give the other hand too, man. Come on, baby. Oh, God.
This segment is brought to you in part by Big & J Long Range Attractants. The aroma is super strong. The range is super long. When you need new archery and hunting gear, look for products with the American Archer approved logo and shop with confidence. Closed captioning for the American Archer is brought to you by Sniper Sharp.
So what did that guy say when the USA beat the Russians in the Olympics back in whenever? Do you believe in miracles? No, you good work. We got it done, dude.
That was awesome.
You know, that first shot, I mean, it just tell it the way it is. That first shot, he jumped up out of his bed, I draw and I shot, and I pinned him. And it happened so fast that Jerry couldn't even get the camera on him, and you were able to watch him bed down, and I was able to go in and finish him off. And he literally, that second arrow, he didn't even move. He just put his head down. You probably saw that from up there. But the one thing I can tell you is I never walk in before the guide gets to the animal, and I want you to see this sucker. I'm looking at him from 15 feet, and he is a giant.
I wanted to see him all day.
Yeah,
Let's go put our hands
just the
on him.
fact you didn't kill me after missing him this morning, you know what I mean? But
I have faith in you, buddy.
look at the size of this Wyoming daggone mule deer, bro. Look at this dude. Holy mama. Holy mama, get down here, man. Oh gosh, I got arrows falling out. I got things happening here. I just want to tell you something. You're gonna go a long time before you find a typical mule deer that's much prettier than that one right there. When you saw him this morning, you said, I don't know what he's gonna score, but it's gonna score a lot, you know?
Good.
And look, just got gorgeous velvet. He's got a little kicker. He's got brows. He's got the whole thing. And the bottom line is we were able to make a lot of adjustments. I wasn't, you know. Tanner was able to make the adjustments we needed. And all I can tell you is this is just a pretty magical place. You know, TJ, Bear Track Outfitters, all of his guys, they, you know, Tanner and I, we've done several shows together, you know, antelope and now mule deer. And the one thing you got to do is be willing to play the points game. It doesn't take a lot, but just get yourself in the game with the points and get out here and hunt these antelope and the mule deer. And all I can say is this is probably one of the highlights of my bow hunting life. Unbelievable. I feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off my chest. Unbelievable. Hey, I'm
amazing critter.
Oh, unbelievable, unbelievable. Hey, I'm Joe Thomas, and Tanner and I will catch you next time on American Archer. Come on, give me some, give me some. Look at that deer. Look at that deer. God, what a giant.